12 games into a season that was supposed to represent progress, the Cleveland Browns instead find themselves staring at familiar frustration, sitting at 3-9 with an offense that feels stuck in neutral and an organization once again drifting toward an uncertain spring where both the quarterback position and the head coaching job could be in play. The defense has done its part often enough to keep games within reach, but week after week the burden has grown heavier as the offense sputters, stalls, and too often collapses entirely, wasting strong performances and draining belief from a fan base that has ridden this same emotional roller coaster for decades. Zach Jackson of The Athletic captured the mood perfectly when he wrote that Cleveland has managed to embarrass itself while squandering a capable defense, noting that even with flashes of promise from rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders, along with steady production from tight end Harold Fannin and running back Quinshon Judkins, the offense as a whole has been painfully ineffective, eerily resembling last year's dysfunctional unit that limped to a 13-14 finish with a carousel of quarterbacks and long-term concerns across the roster. The difference now is that hope was supposed to be alive, the rebuild supposedly turning a corner, yet instead the Browns feel trapped in a cycle of wasted seasons and missed opportunities, with special teams miscues, poor execution, and questionable decision-making compounding the issues. Sanders, though far from a finished product, has at least shown enough poise, arm talent, and resilience under pressure to suggest he deserves time to grow, something Cleveland has historically struggled to offer young quarterbacks. He has stood tall behind shaky protection, delivered big throws in tight windows, and shown leadership beyond his years, even when the scoreboard hasn't reflected his effort. But football is never about one player, and the Browns' larger offensive structure has offered him little consistency, leaving analysts and fans alike wondering whether the bigger issue lies not under center, but on the sideline. Head coach Kevin Stefanski, now in his 6th season, carries a 43-53 record and a 1-2 mark in playoff appearances, numbers that feel underwhelming for a tenure once filled with promise. Early in the year, criticism focused on his handling of the quarterback situation, particularly the delay in turning to Sanders, but as losses have mounted, the conversation has shifted from individual decisions to the broader question of leadership and direction. What makes the frustration sting even more is that quick turnarounds are not only possible in today's NFL, they are happening in real time. Parity reigns, and smart hires can change a franchise's trajectory almost overnight. Mike Vrabel has transformed the New England Patriots into the league's best team at 11-2 in his first season, while Ben Johnson has taken a recently floundering Chicago Bears squad to a 9-3 record and the top seed in the NFC. Those examples hang over Cleveland like a cruel reminder that the right coach, paired with the right quarterback plan, can unlock success far faster than most rebuild timelines suggest. The Browns already have a defensive foundation capable of competing, and they possess offensive pieces that could thrive in a more cohesive system. With 2 first-round picks in the upcoming draft, their own and one acquired from Jacksonville, and their own selection likely landing in the top 10, Cleveland is positioned to make a bold move for a franchise quarterback in what many believe will be a much deeper class than the previous year. But the question looming over everything is who will be making those decisions. As losses have piled up, local media voices have grown louder, with some no longer dancing around the issue but directly calling for Stefanski's job. Longtime Cleveland personality Tony Rizzo voiced what many fans have been thinking, bluntly stating that other owners would have fired the staff already, arguing that watching the current product is unacceptable given the talent and resources invested. The frustration isn't just about losing, it's about the feeling of stagnation, the sense that the organization keeps repeating the same mistakes while hoping for different results. If Stefanski is unlikely to survive another season without a dramatic turnaround, logic suggests the Browns may choose to reset sooner rather than later, allowing a new head coach to shape the roster, develop Sanders if they believe in him, or orchestrate a new swing at a franchise quarterback if they don't. That's where an intriguing name has begun to surface in NFL circles, one that Browns fans know very well from just a few hours down the road in South Bend, Marcus Freeman. The Notre Dame head coach has quietly built one of college football's most consistent and respected programs, guiding the Fighting Irish back into national relevance with a blend of discipline, player development, and modern energy that resonates with today's athletes. At just 39 years old, Freeman has already compiled a 43-12 record, multiple postseason wins, and a college football playoff title game appearance, establishing himself as one of the brightest young minds in the sport. His journey from graduate assistant at Ohio State in 2010 to the head coach of one of college football's most iconic programs barely a decade later speaks to both his football acumen and his leadership presence. NFL interest in Freeman is not new. According to NFL Network's Tom Pelissero, multiple teams, including the Bears last year, have inquired about him as his reputation continues to soar, with league executives viewing him as a coach who would excel in interviews, connect naturally with players, and bring a strong cultural foundation to a locker room. Freeman's background as a former NFL linebacker only adds to his appeal, giving him instant credibility with professionals while maintaining the recruiting and development instincts honed in college. For a franchise like Cleveland, searching not just for play callers but for an identity, Freeman represents the kind of modern leader who could bridge the gap between raw talent and sustained success. The idea of Freeman in Cleveland isn't about star power alone, it's about fit. The Browns have cycled through offensive gurus, defensive specialists, and motivational leaders without finding the right balance. Freeman's success has come from building complete programs, strong defense, physical football, accountability, and emotional buy-in, all qualities Cleveland desperately needs. Pairing that with a young quarterback like Sanders, who already shows toughness and maturity, could create the foundation for a genuine turnaround. And if the new regime decided to pursue another quarterback in the draft, Freeman's history of developing players could be a powerful asset in molding a rookie into a long-term solution. None of this guarantees success, of course. Coaching transitions are risky, draft picks are never sure things, and rebuilding in the NFL is rarely linear. But what feels clear is that the current path isn't working. The Browns are too talented defensively to be buried near the bottom of the standings, too invested in their roster to accept another lost season, and too strategically positioned in the upcoming draft to waste the opportunity on half measures. Whether it's Freeman or another rising coach, Cleveland appears headed toward a crossroads where bold decisions will define the next decade of football in the city. For now, the focus remains on finishing out a difficult season, evaluating Sanders' development, and determining whether Stefanski can somehow spark a late surge that changes the narrative. But the whispers are growing louder, the patience thinner, and the vision of a fresh start more appealing with every frustrating Sunday. In a league where fortunes can flip in a single offseason, the Browns are once again staring at the possibility of reinvention, hoping that this time the right combination of leadership and talent finally breaks the cycle and delivers the sustained success Cleveland has chased for so long.